I started trading right before, like a month before 9/11.
Really?
And I remember walking in the office and, seeing the planes hit. And again, I was, just shocked. And it's like, it's horror. Cutting your losers is, that's a mantra for scalping. And
Yep.
that's the best way to learn how to trade. You don't have to have 50% winners to be a scalper. I mean, I've seen guys make 8 figures scalping. I've seen guys who never had a winning month make 6 figures in literally seconds.
What's up, traders? Welcome to the Day Trading Show. My name is Austin Silver. I'm your host. I really appreciate you being here. Today, I'm sitting down with David Hale. David is a trader of 25 years. He is a new author. His book is awesome. He is trading from Poland right now. He's a scalper. He has been making money almost every single year that he's been trading, with just a couple of blowups in between that we're going to talk about. I think you're going to love this. David is a full degen like the rest of us, and he does not hide it. We talk about gambling, we talk about trading, we talk about traveling, we cover everything. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Make sure you tune in for this full episode. I think you guys are going to love it. And if you want to check out David's links, they're down in the description. So enough out of me. Enjoy the conversation with David Hale. What's going on, traders? Welcome back to the show. Today, I'm sitting down with Mr. David Hale. David, it's good to see you, bro. How are you?
I'm good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, of course. I was going to say, I appreciate you giving us the time. I want to talk to you about your book. I want to talk to you about your trading. You're coming in from Poland today, which is pretty cool because I like talking with traders and hearing about how they manage trading from different time zones, because I struggle with that, bro. I'll go to Colorado, which is like 3 hours off, and it'll throw me off for a whole week. So I'm looking forward to this. We're going to talk strategy a little bit, talk travel, talk everything. But some people may not know you, David. You're new to social media. I know you just got your Twitter going recently and everything. So can you give us like a quick 30,000-foot overview of who David Hale is, how you got into trading and everything like that?
Yeah, well, it's a long story, but again, the trading part started about 23 years ago. Okay. That's when I started the trading journey.
Okay.
Since then, I've been trading mainly U.S. equities, some crypto, some options on the side. Got my start in Texas at a prop firm there. Been jumping around prop firms for the last 20 years or so. All over the world, man. I'm actually originally from England, so I started in England. Then moved to Texas.
Bro, nobody would have guessed that. How'd you drop the accent?
Yeah, no, because I moved there when I was like a teenager. So that's, it's not a cool thing to have. It's like a, quirky accent.
The British dude
where you're a teenager.
In Texas, bro. Come on.
So yeah, as soon as I got over there, man, the first thing I was going to do was lose the accent. And so, yeah, I got to Texas. That's where, my trade journey really started in kind of like with gambling. I've always loved the risk. I love casinos. when I was living in England, I was sneaking into, casinos when I was like 10 years old.
No way.
And then in Texas, no, man, that's the way I do it, degenerate from the start. So,
bro, at least you admit it. Everybody else will be like, no, I'm not. No, you have to embrace it, bro. It's who we are. To some extent.
Yeah, that's who I am. I like, again, I like the risk. And, even with gambling, even as a kid, I was like, there's edge here, like this seems fun. You gamble, you can make money, do it the easy way. And I was confident. I was always been confident that, for some reason I'm smarter than.
But I think you need that. I think we all need. I think, bro,
Yeah.
90% of the audience is going to agree with that and say, yes, I'm the same way. I believe I could do it better than the next guy sitting next to me. That's why we're here.
Yeah, you're not in trading. That's the whole thing about trading. Like, you better be confident. You better have, that little swagger.
Yeah.
If you kind of come in and go, oh, well, it might be a good trader, don't start. That's what I tell traders. Like,
great advice.
Unless you're 100%, confident you're going to make it, don't start. And I always look for that in traders. But yeah, I had, for some reason I had this confidence. So yeah, I started, sneaking in, because, I was sneaking into Vegas by the time I was like 17, 18.
Dude, what were you playing? Blackjack, roulette? What were you doing? Slots?
Yeah, blackjack was,
bro, we need to meet up and hit a casino and take them for their money, bro.
Hi, man. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm
You're
down for
supposed
the
to say,
casino.
David, you're supposed to say, no, I'm kicked out of all the casinos. I already took all their money.
No. They're taking all mine. I know that's a fool's game.
It is,
But
but
yeah,
it is very
I,
similar to trading, right? Like I've
it
had a
is, it
guy on
is.
the podcast who's a poker coach. Like he coaches poker players at the World Series of Poker, and he coaches traders. It's very similar in a lot of ways.
Nah, I know plenty of guys. It's a natural kind of crossover between poker, well, and gambling in general. And again, I think there are, gamblers. There are gamblers with edge. It
Yeah.
can be, it can be similar to trading. If you have a strategy, if you can count cards,
I
if you
mean,
can,
you can
there's some arbitrage type stuff.
exactly. I was going to even say, like, I read Dan Bilzerian's book about him playing poker. His edge was him playing people who were rich but sucked at poker. That's an edge.
Yeah, no. You know what? I used to, well, I didn't do it, but all my friends used to do it back in the day. Their edges, I don't know. I mean, you're probably too young, but there was this big online poker boom. I don't know. There's moneymaker effect, they call it. So this is probably 25 years ago now.
Wow.
And so online poker blew up. And so all my buddies who were decent players would get online, and everyone over the world was playing. And there were some awful guys on it. And usually when they got home from the bars, they were god awful. So these guys would just wait till about 2 a.m.
And take them out.
Wait till everyone got back from the bars, just out of their mind, drunk, and just handing over.
What a time. What a time.
Yeah,
Did you ever?
that's a great strategy. I mean, again, you say, oh, well, how moral. That's a strategy.
You're
That's
exploiting
edge.
alpha. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Okay. So now circle it up a little more recent for us. I know you wrote the book recently. When was that put out? Recent. Yeah.
This a few months ago. Yeah. So, I've been working on this book I'm not a writer. I don't think, I'm a trader. I've been spending 25 or almost 25 years in front of a computer, busting my ass. And again,
and to be honest, bro, when you read the book, you can tell that it was written by you. Like, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I thought you were gonna say you can tell it's written. It's not. It's written by a guy.
No. But I think that's authentic. I think that comes through. And in our space, it's very easy to write something, submit it to a publisher, have them make it all boring and all dry and like not a human talking to you. When I because we spoke and then I started to chop into the book a little bit more, and I felt like I was talking to you. And I think that's a really good writing style. My dad taught me, write like how you speak. It'll relate to people a little bit more rather than trying to be all proper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wanted it real. Again, I've been sitting there. I've been slaving. I feel like I've got an interesting story to tell. And I know, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like can help these traders. So yeah, I've been spending my time. And then, before that, I'm not on social media. I'm a trader. This is a book by a trader. I wish, now I'm trying to get the word out. So I'm switching up a little bit. I'm still trading. I'm a trader. That's what I do.
And now that you're on social media, have you had the thought yet of like, God, why am I doing this? Can I just get off social media and go back to trading and get rid of all this bullshit? Because that's me sometimes, bro. I'll be honest. I tell people.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. I would love, and that's the thing. And I would love just kind of some steady income doing all that. I've been through hell. But I miss it. Still every day I get my juices get flowing when the market's open. And my style of trading is it's hardcore scalping. And it's video gaming, it's performance. It's like, it's a battle. And I love it. Again, and I get to, there's days I get torn up and I'm battered and I'm bruised.
But it makes you stronger long term, bro.
It does.
So many people are going to relate to you saying that, like the battle that we face is not always external either. It's not always like you getting beat up by the chart. Sometimes it's internal and it's in your head. So you could have a good day on the chart and have a terrible day in your head. Like trading is such a mind fuck in that way. But before we because I'm sure everybody agrees with these points, let's pick on that for a second. Let's talk about the 1 minute trading. Let's just jump right in if you don't mind. You call it the glitch trading, the glitch strategy. Can you kind of give everybody that hasn't read the book yet? I'm going to make sure that link to the book and to your social is in the description to this for everybody watching, so you guys can all get the book and everything. But give us an overview of that. Not too much detail. Let's tease them a little bit so they have to go read the full book. But tell us about the strategy you're implementing with this scalping.
Yeah, this was a big thing why I wrote this book, because I've been in the prop world for 23 years. I've traded the best firms. I trade around great traders. And I saw, and I know from me, from me too, where the money's being made. And it was, it's not from, these crazy technical cup and handle, this and that. It's from what I call these glitch strategies, from these scalping. Don't get me wrong. I've seen money made in position trading, other styles of trading, but the majority of the money and the edge I've seen is in what I would call these glitch trades. And a glitch trade, the definition I think I use in the book, it's a mispricing, it's a malfunction, it's arbitrage. It's basically something that shouldn't be there. There's when there's something wrong in the wiring of the market. There's no speculation, there's no thinking, there's no feeling. It's just straight, here's where the market should be, here's where I can buy it, bang, bang. So yeah, and that's the way we do it. And again, there's lots of different, I give in the book, I give plenty of examples. I mean, sometimes it's as easy as, a lot of my trading is finding two stocks that move together. One lags the other. A stock goes up, then you quickly buy B and then scalp out.
You have a recent example of that?
I mean, during COVID, again, I made maybe most or a lot of my trade just doing the strategy. I'd either gold stocks work for a while. Yep. So have a chart of GLD, which is, spot gold.
Yep. Have
the gold miners ETF up and have a bunch of basket of gold.
And you could see stocks. The lag and you would jump on the, wow, that's interesting.
And again, hey, it's not much, but it was enough for this, old school,
you know what?
40-year-old.
It's not overcomplicated, right?
Slow on the keys,
It's simple. And it's actually, I think some people, I had a guy on yesterday and I was telling you he doesn't like Forex. So we talked a lot about that, but he was saying like sometimes the easy trade, the easy one, like it's almost so simple, he won't take it because his brain is looking for a more complicated problem to solve. It's crazy, right? Versus with your approach here, you're just saying, if this is moving and this is moving, this is likely to move. So let me just follow the move. I don't need to be first. You don't need some proprietary information. Just follow the move. What's up, traders? The best way to learn how to trade is not through a trading course. I sell a course that teaches my strategies, and I'm telling you that honest advice. The best way to really learn how to trade is to watch experienced traders with proven track records navigate the live market. Now, when I got started as a trader, I was able to watch one of Wall Street's best traders live for a full day, just one day. And it made a huge impact on my trading. I still use some of the principles that he shared that day today, 6 years later. So now as I've built my reputation and my brand as a trading coach, I want to turn and give the trading community something back. We've started the Netflix for traders. It's called ASFX TV. It's now only $10 per month. It's the same price as Netflix, basically, where you can come and watch me and 3-4 other full-time traders navigate the markets live. And again, this is the best way for you to learn how to trade. You'll see us take trades. You'll be able to participate in some of them if you'd like. It's never financial advice. I have to be very clear about that. It's for entertainment purposes only, but you're going to actually see how a real full-time trader navigates the London session and New York session every day of the week. So click the link down below in the description. Maybe there's a card flying in on the screen. Take the 3-day free trial. Check it out. See if you're interested. You don't just get the live streams. You actually get to watch the recordings of any streams that you missed as well. So it's a no-brainer. For $10 a month, it's a no-brainer. So check it out. Link down below. Now back to the video.
Don't overcomplicate things. I mean, a lot of, another good example of glitch is like these auctions in the equity space. We have auctions at the open and closing. And sometimes, you buy here and then the auction is pricing up here. You buy here and then you sell in the auction there. It's, literally free money. And there's plenty, been plenty of examples. You could be buying, buy Bitcoin on one exchange, flip it to another exchange and sell it for $500 higher.
And that still works.
It still works. I mean, there's guys out there doing it. And, that's the easy way to make money. Do it the simple way. Don't, traders are so caught up in technical. I use technical analysis. I have charts on that, but again, they get caught up in the technical analysis. They want to think, they want to feel, they want to speculate. Well, well, the Fed's doing this and gold's doing this, and I think this is no. Look for the simple strategies, and that's where the edge is. And these strategies are easy to execute. I'm not going to say they're easy to find. if they're that easy, everyone would be doing. But
No, but
they're out
it takes thought, but it's
there.
not complicated. It's not some complex
Yeah.
thing that you have to do.
No.
And what I think is good for people to hear you say that is like, there's no holy grail indicator is basically what you're saying. There's no thing on the chart that you're going to throw on there and it's going to magically give you every trade that you need. You have to understand the strategy, the roots of it, and then have an idea and be willing to live or die by it. I think that's something already in your attitude people can probably hear is like, you're not, I don't know you that well yet, David, but you don't sound like a gunslinger where you're too nonchalant, but you're also not afraid to take risks. The dude's breaking into casinos when he's underage. The dude's willing to scalp on the 1 minute. You're not afraid to take risks.
No, you can't be. I mean, again, you get burned. I've got burned plenty of times, but it is. I try not to oversimplify. Again, trading is simple as having a strategy with edge and then executing it efficiently. It's that simple. If you don't, if you have those two parts, you will make money. If you don't, if you don't have both parts, you won't make money. It's as simple as that. And again, that's what I try to do. Yes, you need to be able to take risks when the edge is there, when that trade presents itself. But this is not, it's not rocket science.
No, definitely not. Let me give you this. Do you know Nathan Meachid from Investors Live? Have you ever heard of Investors Live?
Yeah. I do.
He's well known. He posted this yesterday or a couple days ago. He wrote, "Scalping is what gives you a chance for a scalable strategy. Do you think everyone just shows up with a few $100,000 or $1 million to trade a scalable strategy? You have to build a strategy that gives you a chance to make the choice. You're making a huge assumption that if you just trade a scalable strategy, you can provide for your wife and 3 kids. If you have a system that brings you consistency, you do that until you're in a position to start to build wealth. Income is greater than wealth building early in the career, but wealth building becomes greater than income when you don't need income." So he says, build up the nest egg as much as you can before you venture off into other strategies. There's no one right way to trade. The only thing wrong here is you telling someone what they should do or should not do for a trading strategy. You would agree with all that, I'm sure.
Yeah, actually, this is funny because I replied to this tweet yesterday.
Did you?
And
Okay, so you saw this already.
One. And I will, what I basically said is, yes, I'm a scalper. That's my, I 23. I never, for me, when you're position trading, you're and I'm saying this tongue in cheek, you're hoping, you're praying, it's like, oh, well, I think this will go up. When you're a scalper, we're reacting. There's tools out there that give traders the edge, order books, market profile stuff. Why not use that? Why not use that? And again, I know for a fact, like I said, I've seen how traders make money. It's from scalping. That's where the edge is. I've seen what I make. And that's the best way. It's the best way, I think, for a trader to learn. That's cutting your losers is, that's a mantra for scalping. And that's the best way to learn how to trade. You don't have to have 50% winners to be a scalper. No. It's all about, for me, it's just a glorified video game. I'm nothing but an 80s, old school 80s gamer, playing there, reading reading order books, putting offers out, reacting. That's why I love it. I can't do it for 10 hours a day anymore.
No.
It'll blow my mind up. But yes, I'm a huge proponent in scalping. I think that style of trading, when done correctly, offers the most superior edge. And these glitch trades we just talked about, there are certain glitches I'd say that maybe are longer term, but nearly all of them are, are scalping trades. I've seen guys make 8 figures scalping. I've seen guys who never had a winning month make 6 figures in literally seconds. Even in the last few years, I've seen guys 7-figure scalping trades.
And they're trading with large capital, but they're scalping with large capital, correct?
Yeah. Well, that's the key. And like I think you were saying in this tweet, another great thing about scalping is it's a way of survival. Yeah. If you're a good scalper, you can survive, you can stay alive. That's what I'm doing now. The market for most equity traders right now, it's not that easy for most generally. But if you have certain, not for all traders. So my goal is to just churn out money. And I have basically one strategy in this market right now. I work 3 or 4 hours a week for 1 hour a day. And I churn out, I'm old. I'm slow on the keys. I'm not that great a trade anymore. And I make money every single month. I rarely have a losing day. And that, like, I'm not bragging, you know, it's not me going, oh, I'm this badass.
No,
I'm
no,
just
it's
saying
just
there's obviously edge in my strategy.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I think people not only overcomplicate it, but they forget that the variable of looking for longer term trades versus what you're describing as scalping, there's this like unknown when you leave positions on, whether it's through news. Remember, bro, when Trump was tweeting about the China war and just stocks would just go, like, you never know. Versus if you're a scalper, in, out, money's made, then tell me if I'm right on this. The hardest thing is sitting on your hands and not continuing to trade to give that win back, right?
Yeah, no, I was going to say scalpers sleep like babies. We don't
That's
have to
it.
worry about,
Right,
we
you
don't
come
have
in
to worry
clean.
about, yeah, we don't have to worry about, oh, overnight news in China or Asia or whatever.
Right.
And wake up, day starts new. That's what I love about, that's what I love about scalping. But yes, you're right. The tough thing is sitting on the hands. And I've been doing this for a long time and I still haven't mastered that act. It's the toughest act in trading. Yeah. What I have to do is just walk out. If I still can't control myself. It's terrible. It's a
That's
terrible.
What people think. It's we got to harp on that for a second because it's good for people to hear someone who has been trading as long as you because I push that to a lot of the guys that come into our mentorship. I'm like, the mistakes never stop. The only thing we're trying to do is have them happen less often and have them cost you less money. Be aware of them when they're happening so you can prevent those losses from being bad. That's it. People think trading is a game of perfection. It's not, right? There's no way.
No, you never master trading. I still have terrible discipline.
Right.
I'm the worst. But not, at least I've gotten smarter. Now I know just to separate myself from the monitors.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think, for new traders, now you have to get your screen time in. You can't go, well, I'm scared of over trading. So, I'm just going to trade half an hour a day. But then you're not going to make it as a trader if you can't control yourself.
No, you got to get some experience. I agree.
Yeah, you got to watch, you got to learn. I've earned that privilege.
Yes.
And again, once you start making money, a successful trader,
you do earn privileges.
You can trade where you want. Yep. You can trade what hours you want. But, until then, yes, you have to put the screen time in. But yeah, if you can't control yourself, leave. That's what I do.
This business is not for you.
I schedule I schedule stuff at the gym. I schedule.
You have to leave. You can't
miss it. Yeah. It's like it's sad. It's sad, but it is.
No, but it's true, bro, because we're addicted. We are addicts.
Yeah.
We're degenerates. You have to embrace the degeneracy so you can not allow it to run your life.
Yeah, no, it's a very, and it's natural. This dopamine, I mean, there's a reason, and that's, like I said, I always love gambling. I love this. It's trading, what you could say is a bad job for me. And yes, it has, this affliction of mine has caused a lot of troubles. I mean, again,
but you're not that gray yet, bro. So it can't be that bad.
Hey, man, dude, 5 years ago, I was dead broke. I didn't have a penny. I was living in Poland. I didn't have a place to live. My wife had just left me. I had nothing. I mean, this is, it gets bad. This is not all me going, oh, I lived a great life. No. I've had it good.
Definitely not. No, man, definitely doesn't go straight up. Definitely doesn't go straight up.
No. And this has happened a couple of times. I've hit rock.
Everyone that I talk to that has traded as long as you has a story about that. Crudelli blew out, had a heart attack at the desk. Saying Lucci, he was another guy, had to go back to Boston a couple times. Like, a lot of guys have that story because, again, you're not afraid to take risks. Both of those guys I just mentioned are not afraid to take risks. They trade bigger than most people will ever trade. And I think that's part of it. Like, if you swing big, you're going to have to handle those lows. Where has been, to change for a second, you said something I want to ask you. Where's been the best place, or what is the best country in the world or best time zone in the world for you to trade from? Where have you enjoyed it the most?
I do love this time zone here. I mean, again, so I like to trade pre-market hours, the U.S. equities. Yeah. I like that because it's slower. I'm old and slow.
It is.
I like
market slower.
Yeah, you can, and I think you can read that. I can use my tape reading skills more. So I like the pre-market. So typically I trade, let's say, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Polish time. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's perfect, man. I love it. You get the mornings free. You can do whatever.
Go to the gym, do whatever. Right.
Yeah. when I was I spent a lot of my time in Texas, and I know it. I assume it's hell working on the West Coast, but even Texas, like
Rough,
8:30, especially if you had a few beers or something the night before,
rough.
like it's rough. And again, if you like to trade the pre-market, there was a lot of trade in the pre-market the last few years. These guys in Texas waking up at 4 a.m. to trade. That's
Bro.
10 a.m. for me. So
Right.
as far as time zone, I do like this time zone, but I'd also say, I mean, most of the time I'm trading remotely now, and it's a big trade-off. So I get the time zone I want, but I'm trading remotely. I recommend, for me and any trader, it's so much better to be in an office. It's so much better to be around other traders. I've been fortunate of trading some amazing trading floors around some amazing traders. I mean, my brother's a professional trader for 20
Is it?
years. My buddies are, and I miss it. Again, and my trade, and I've sat my profits would be so much higher if I was around these guys. I was getting, that competition, that push, the sharing,
Of course.
just a professional environment. But I've done my journey, my story has landed me in Poland, and I'm here. Like, at least I have a really I just call it a hospitable time zone to
No,
trade
for
in. So
sure.
yeah,
For sure.
I do
With,
like that. And
you
that's
mentioned,
I'm sorry, and
yeah,
that's a hack I would recommend for any
of course.
remote trader.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have a family and you can go live anywhere, find a time zone that suits your trading.
100%. 100%. I mean, bro, if I think right now, I just had my son, he's 11 or 12, like a couple of weeks old, like still very new. And I'm thinking, like, how do I make it work with him and my wife traveling? Because I love to travel and I don't mind. The answer is just make more money so I can afford to travel nice and have a nice place to stay and then have a nanny or whatever else, or an au
Take your
pair, whatever you want to
nanny,
call
take
it.
your
Have
entourage.
the entourage. You got to bring the whole gang if you want to make it happen. You just got to make more money, bro. That's the answer to everything in life. With you were mentioning a couple of times, I want to talk about this because it'll probably take a few minutes to discuss the prop firms and the floors that you've worked on. Can you give us like an overview? Because this prop firm thing, funding company thing, it's honestly, I'll tell you really quick before you steal the mic. It's irritating right now to me because the word funding company and the word prop firm have become interchangeable and they are not the same thing. Like a prop firm, you're trading real money, you're being educated with the firm, you've got to earn your size. It's completely different versus these funding companies are open about how they're profiting off people failing and they're trying to hurt the traders that are paying them to take challenges. So give us your experience because you've been around longer. So you've been around before the funding companies were even a thing. You just know the old school prop model, the real model, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all new to me, really. I keep hearing funded and
Yeah.
these I mean, for me, it sounds like this funded again. I sound like
You'd love it, bro. It's basically online gambling.
yeah, but again, it sounds like these companies that have these challenges or whatever.
Yeah.
Some guy gets lucky, and then they get a bunch of capital to trade with. But for me, it's like, what? Okay, you have all this capital. What? You don't even know how to trade. What
Right.
good?
You don't know.
What's the?
That's why
What
no
good
one
does it?
stays funded. That's why everybody
Yeah.
ends up
What?
failing.
What good does all capital do without a proper education? So yes, I was fortunate enough to trade on some really good floors around some good traders, and that's the greatest education you can get. And I'd say it's tough. Trading it's almost, well, I'm not saying impossible, but it's tough.
Tough.
If you don't have that support, if you don't have proper training, if you're not around the right guys, don't do it. I mean, again, if you're trying to do it yourself, or even if you get funded, that's no good. You need to be around that. And if you can, yeah, get in a group. That's the number one thing. Any new traders, do whatever you can to get it. Like when I say a prop firm, I'm thinking of a company that lets you trade their capital and they offer training. Again, ideally would be in an office where you're trading around other traders, but it could even be remotely, as long as it's good quality education. But if you don't have that, there's no point having capital. But a good prop firm is absolutely invaluable. But it seems like they're few and far between. At least in the equity space
Nowadays. I
now.
mean, and now
Yeah.
like especially in my opinion, what I've seen is none of them really want remote traders. They want you in New York in the office. Like, let's go. We're in Texas. Some of them are in Texas now. I don't know too many that are based here in Florida, but like they want you in the office versus the funding thing. It's so appealing because these guys can just gamble their money away at home.
Yeah, no,
And dude, it's crazy
right.
because like some of these firms will sell like a $5,000 challenge for like $80.
Yeah.
So you're paying
Wow.
$80, boom, 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 to risk basically $500 in the market because it's a 10% drawdown. So you're buying $500 worth of risk at $80 a clip. That makes no sense to me. What makes sense
Yeah.
to me is if you do have an education and then you do go get funded, like me and the guys that I work with, we've all been funded for over a year. We have the receipts of that. Like we have proven that's why our mentorship is popular. Those payouts that have paid us, that's real money. I mean, we've made more money. All of our group has made more money this year than any year before because I was at 300K. James was at 800K in funding. So you get these massive amounts of capital. And because we have a strategy and a system, it can be deployed well and make money. I think if you look at the stats, though, what ends up happening is a guy will get a payout. He'll ride the high and he'll crash and burn. And then that next loss, he'll end up taking 2% of a loss instead of a 0.5% of a loss. And then that 2% loss ends up spiraling and now the account is gone. And now he has to go get refunded. That's the traditional story, you know?
Yeah, no, it's sad. It's sad to see this. I mean, again, you know this industry. There's always sharks out there. There's always trying to take. There's always people trying to take advantage of. And it is, these even the prop firms that are left. The problem is too. It's so tough to get in. I mean,
so again, everybody wants to get in.
There's no way. There's no way I get in these days.
Me neither.
Me. I like. To be honest, I still don't know how I got in, but. Now they want, how the trading space is. It's quants, it's rocket science,
degrees,
it's math,
crazy shit. Yes, bro. Yes. You can't code, you're an idiot. Right. It's crazy now.
No. It's the game's changed. So, that's unfortunately it is tough. But my advice would be, yes, if capital's no good without proper education and proper strategies. You can have billions. If you don't know how to use it, you're just going to blow it. So yeah, it's sad to see, it's sad to see that side of things.
But like you said, there's always going to be companies that prey on people. Regulation will come around, things will change, and you adapt. Why with the markets that you trade? What are you trading? We went over that a little fast. Are you trading futures, forex, straight stocks? Do you limit yourself at all? Is it only stocks, like exclusively? Will you do indices as well? What do you trade specifically?
Right now I'm mainly U.S. equities.
Okay.
But I'm a firm believer. I become more and more believer of, you're not a trader. You're not a, equity trader. You're not a forex trader. You're not a futures trader. You're a trader.
Right.
You
should be able to trade anything.
You go to where the edge is.
Yep.
Again, if it's, and that's in the past, I've started to do that more. I mean, again, I told you when I was on my ass, flat broke on my ass a few years ago, I had nowhere to go. I didn't know how to do, my equity trading strategies weren't working. I had nowhere to turn. What I did was I typed in, and again, we talked about earlier, arbitrage, the holy grail of trading. So I got on YouTube and I was like, man, this is, I was desperate, man. I was working. I went from making tens of thousands, 100,000. I was working as an English teacher, making $10 an hour.
Wow.
So
humbling.
I went from 25. I was 25 years old. I had, my dream house, my cars, millions, to 40 years old teaching Polish for 10. I was teaching English for 10. So I was like, I got to get, but equities weren't working. So I typed in crypto arbitrage strategy on YouTube. And man, I spent I was like, man, there's no way this was I know you.
Bankman-Fried was doing, right? Where you buy it on one exchange, like you said earlier, sell it to another exchange and profit on the difference.
But I found, and I spent a couple of days going through all this garbage and all these, these hustlers. And I found this guy sitting in his garage with about a dozen views. And he was talking about this amazing arbitrage strategy. It was an ICO strategy.
Okay.
Where it's a really strange strategy. I talk about it in the book, but I was like, man, it was like, this makes sense. So bang, started trading it, within a few months, I was back, I made,
crazy.
40, 50 grand off a YouTube strategy in something I never traded.
Why? And what do you think it was? Was it the strategy was so good, or was it that it was aligned with your beliefs? Like it aligned with you?
Yeah, I knew arbitrage. I know arbitrage is the holy grail. Again, arbitrage, you buy here and you sell here. That's easy. So I knew how to identify an arbitrage strategy. So that's what, of course I didn't expect to find this, but I found it, and it did, I knew, and I looked in crypto because I knew crypto was, it still is kind of the Wild West of trading. Yeah.
Definitely.
There's, I knew there was arbitrage opportunities out there. I knew things were a little crazy. That's where I turned, and it worked out. And I'm still, that's what I'm doing now. I'm looking out there, and I think the best traders still do that. Where is edge? Where is edge? I don't care if it's in equities. I don't care if it's that. Of course, I need an account. I need leverage. I need a way to take care of it. But I'm not going to be stubborn.
Not limited.
Equities,
yeah. Don't limit yourself or hold yourself out. I know a guy that's running a floor in Puerto Rico. He hires young guys. They have to be under 25, and he has them sit next to him and just tell him things about crypto that he doesn't know. And he then deciphers the information to determine if there's alpha there on some exchange or in some way that they can go profit on it. It's wild, bro. And he does it well. And he makes hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It is. I mean, there's a lot. And I recommend, if someone's getting into the game of trading, go earn your stripes in crypto, because there's edge there, and it's hustling. I mean, you're just like drops.
Well, bro, it's 24/7. It's volatility.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's an edge, and you can make money, and you can build a bankroll. And yeah, if you want to do something, trade some stuff, you have that bankroll. Learn how to do that. And again, that's a hard way to do it. If you can do it that way, you're going to find it a lot easier. 100%. So I would recommend, but the problem is most traders, it's not that, and that's the way I trade. It's like, I'm a scavenger. I'm just picking up scraps.
Right.
Most guys want to go, I want to predict what the,
they want to catch the whole move, bro. They want the whole.
I want to, I want to be a technical analyst. I want to do this. No, it's not, it's not trading shouldn't be glamorous. That's not, the goal is to make money. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Right.
And I say you usually don't have, the luxury of choosing the preferred method.
Right.
No, it's tough enough.
Right.
Find the way, the guys who are making money are doing it. Don't, and if it means you're sitting on, your crypto broker and you're doing a drop and you're switching over here and then you're on DeFi, again, I don't even know if this language is right, but that's trading. Buy low, sell high. Hustle.
Find the alpha.
If you're getting on eBay and buying shit from China and then selling it,
the same thing, bro.
That's trading.
Yep.
That's beautiful. That's trading. Look, do that. It's trade. No one said trading had to be speculating what a stock or a future is going to do.
Of course, that's great info. What do you think about all the macro stuff going on? Because you are closer to the war with Russia and Ukraine than I am.
Yeah.
Does that influence your trading at all? Are you looking at that at all?
Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm literally. It's kind of crazy. I got a war,
right
going
there.
on.
It is
on the doorstep. So. Hey, yes, it's something to worry about, but, it's sad. And this is another thing I write about in the book. As a trader, and I think most traders say the same thing, I call us kind of the ambulance chasers, the funeral directors of the, the world.
As soon as they say, war has started or missile launch, what are we looking? What are we shorting? UJ, what are we doing?
Yeah. No, and I've, if you go over my P&L for 23 years, I think 95% of my money has been made in just a couple of short periods.
Windows, like you mentioned COVID already. That was a window.
COVID, financial crisis, 2008, Euro crisis. It's sad, but that's, and even when the, Russia invaded Ukraine.
Oil spiked.
I had, literally there's refugees flooding into my city, but I'm like, part of me is like, oh, wow, this is great trading. I'm making some serious cash.
It is weird. It's fucking weird. In billions, remember Bobby Axelrod got rich from shorting the airline stocks in 9/11. You look that up, there was a lot of options. There's a record number of put options on United Airlines the couple of days, they say, before 9/11. People like to speculate on those type of things, bro. It's crazy.
I wrote it, and that's another story. Yeah, I wrote about that in the book. I mean, I started trading. I started trading right before, like a month before 9/11.
Really?
And I remember walking in the office and, seeing the planes hit. And again, I was, just shocked. And it's like, it's horror. And I'm just sitting, with the rest of we're sitting up there staring at the TVs. And you look over and like all the, the veterans are just boom, 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 pounding on the keys,
Yes.
It's like, this is like
Yo,
Wow.
they're thinking, get the orders in before the market shuts off, get the shorts in. Because what
Yeah,
happened as soon as
no.
that market opened back up, the S&P fell like another 11% the next 2 days after the market opened up. So
Yeah,
imagine everybody they got short as the planes hit before they shut the market off. They crushed it,
yeah.
bro. They fucking crushed it.
That's the nature of the game. I mean, I don't, I'm not sitting here praying for
No, of
nuclear
course, but
holocaust
it's
or
our job
something,
to take
but
advantage of opportunity.
you that's the way it works. So yeah, so I did, of course I always got the eye on, I did, yeah, Russians come, to start trading or get the hell
What's
out of
the
here. But
what's the sentiment over there? Are people pro-Ukraine or pro-Russia over there, or do they not give a
no, they're
fuck?
very, very, very pro-Ukrainian. We have, even where I live, we're packed with Ukrainians, and
Yeah,
the Poles have been really good to the
it
Ukrainians.
seems that
So
way.
yeah, they're very,
What do the
they're very.
people over there think of America? Are they laughing at us with Joe Biden as president?
Nah, man, they love it. They love it. That's why I love.
Yeah.
That's why I love Poland. They love because you go a lot of places in Europe. You probably know. You go to France or
Yeah,
Germany.
they hate Americans.
You have an American accent. It's
Bad
not cool.
news. No, definitely not. Right.
But here it's like you're like, oh wow, you're American. They love American culture. They love everything about it. So yeah, it's cool. And that's why I've lived here over 10 years. I don't speak Polish. It's crazy,
That's
like so.
crazy.
Yeah, so because everyone speaks English to me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Are you still
it
paying
makes
taxes in America? Did you expat?
no. I have a I have an agreement set up. So yeah, I'm a Polish resident now.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Okay, cool. That's
the
do
taxes.
you spend US dollars there? Like, because you're making US dollars. So do you like,
Well, that's a nice thing. I mean, again, and that's originally why I ended up here. I
right?
did
Because the
well.
dollar goes far.
I married a Polish woman. That's it's a long story, but yeah, I was living in London trading, and I went through one of my little periods where I just lost it. I couldn't make money, and my bank account. We were living the high life in London. Blowing cash, and this is
Bro,
when
that'll go real quick.
the pound was like 2 to 1 back then. So
So
it
you
was
were
like
still okay.
bang, bang, bang.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I just realized I was like, oh shit, I'm basically broke. And I hid this from my wife because I didn't want her to worry about it. I was like, I'll make it back. So, I basically went to her one day. I was like, we need to move to Poland and we need to go now. So we basically we had a baby and we just kind of put everything in the car and we came to Poland because yes, it's cheaper here. It's it's you can live an amazing life for a few $1,000s a month. So yeah, any traders out there, you want a good time zone, you got you want to your dollar go far, you want beautiful girls all over the place.
Have you heard about this thing, Passport Bros? Do you know what that is?
I don't.
It's dudes from America that go to Eastern Europe, where you are, Hungary, Bulgaria.
Okay. Yeah, I know they have. Okay.
And they find their wife there because all the women here, everybody jokes. I mean, bro, I have a bunch. I'm the only one of my friends with a wife and a kid. Everybody else jokes around here that all the women here are either they want to be bosses and they're very masculine, or they're like super feminists and they're like lesbians now. It's just crazy. So all my friends are like, I need a nice girl from the Appalachian Mountains or a nice girl from Eastern Ukraine or something like Eastern Europe. That's what all of my friends
come, man. They're beautiful girls and nice ones. Apart from the ones I tend to.
It's the culture,
find
though,
myself
right?
in.
Like the family cultural roots are still strong in Poland, I'm sure.
Yeah,
right.
So this is that's what I like. Poland is, I'm in the west of Poland, so you do feel like you're in Western Europe, but it's still got that, it's a little rugged, it's a little old school. I like it. It's good. It keeps you on your toes, and yeah, it's a good place. Though, I kind of shuttle between here. I have a place in Spain.
That sounds more my speed, bro. I need more sunshine than Poland. Poland to me seems like gray and cold.
Nah, man, the winters are harsh. I mean, that's the problem. And again, we have about 7 months of just gray, dark.
That's awful. No, I would die.
Yeah.
I would die.
So I got a place in Spain, so I shuttle over there, and again, try and make it to the states as much as I can.
So what's next for you then, bro? Like, are you staying in Europe long term, or are you going to come back here and join the Western world in our financial markets over here?
Assimilate back to Western culture? No, I'd love to. I have two daughters here, which kind of makes things
Oh, of course, that's tough. You can't.
Gives me roots here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like I said, I wrote this book. I'm trying to get myself, integrated in kind of the trading culture. It's great to meet other traders. It's great to, go to meetups. It's great to, talk to people like you. So yeah, I want to get out there more and try and make it to the States more and visit traders, go to these conferences.
Listen, bro, come to Florida. Every other person in Florida is a trader. It seems like it's crazy, especially in Miami now. They're all congregated down in Miami.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my brother's, he's been a trader for 20
Where's
years.
He at?
He's in Austin.
Nice.
So, that's where I started. So yeah, every time I go back to Austin, and Austin, yeah, I think you mentioned earlier, there's a couple of amazing trading firms there. So yeah, I love going back there and talking trade.
It just sucks how they're letting that city go, bro, with all the homeless people. I heard the homelessness there is crazy.
Man. It's blown up. I mean, I miss the old school Austin. When I was growing up there, it was a nice.
Stay weird, bro. Stay weird. Come on.
Yeah, no, now it's packed. There's homeless. There's, tons of Californians, New Yorkers. The traffic's terrible.
Different.
It is, and it's just half of the year. It's just unbearable. It's just unbearably hot. So yeah,
it is.
I know, nah. So I think you got, you're in the right spot there. Spain or Poland. Summers in Poland, and then
bro, that's like the move,
Florida,
right? You get exactly. You go back to Florida in the summer. Yep.
And that's the great thing about being a trader. You can do that, and I love that. And I keep track of all my trading records. And, every time I trade on the road, my trading's double. I make my P&L doubles. It's crazy. Really? So, it's, going on this is, I take out the like COVID and these times when the market's really crazy, I want to be at home. I want to be on my desktop. I want to be, my battle station. But the rest of the time, I trade so much better on the road. And I think it is, you're more chilled. I'm less likely to, stay on the computer. You got stuff to do. You got beaches, you got mountains, you got, bars, you got, all that stuff. So yeah. And I would encourage traders out there to do the same thing. Look at your stats. If you're making more money when you're trading on the road, then, get
your ass in the Winnebago and get on the road. Right.
It's that's a great, it's an investment. It's not a vacation.
No,
it's an investment. And again, it's also good for your,
yeah, because you change it up, get new scenery, go try new things. Like I like routine, but I can't do the same thing. I have to try to like switch. Like now my big thing is I'm normally like after we finish up here, I'm going to the gym. I have a 12 o'clock workout every day. I might change that and do workouts in the morning and then take more time back just because I need a little bit of change, but I still like the structure. So I think you're right. Sometimes people need that kick of something new to motivate you, to inspire you, to keep you excited about your day,
Depends how you're wired. I mean, again, I think a lot of people.
I mean, bro, you're one of the first guys I've ever had on the podcast that says I'm making more money while I travel than when I'm in routine. That's a first for the podcast. So it's good for people to hear that because, like you just said, everybody's different.
Yeah. Well, look at your numbers. If you see every time I trade when I'm on the road, I'm losing money. Don't trade. It's simple as that. If I'm trading at these times of the day and every time I'm losing money, don't trade. I'm a big proponent. Go through your numbers. Go through the data. And I tweeted about this the other day, look at even like, okay, when I get 6 hours of sleep, how do I trade? We
track all that. Yep, we're big on
that.
If
I drink the night before, if I have sex the night before, if I, if I eat breakfast, if I eat this certain meal, if I go to the gym, keep track of all this data and see the trends, because I'm a firm believer, with trading's mental, it's psychological. Of course, we all know that, but this type of stuff, it makes a huge difference, as you know. So yeah, just keep track of that. Don't just keep track of your P&L. I made X amount. No. What time of the day? What day of the week? What time of the month? What was I eating? What was I drinking? Where was I? What was where was I trading from? Keep track of all that, and use that data to help your trading.
It's great advice. I love it. All right, last question, David, before we wrap. One thing that you would go back and tell the younger version of yourself when you first got started trading for the new guys out there?
Like I've said earlier, I've gotten myself in some trouble, like some it's a pretty, like, being on the streets and 40 years old, dead broke, wisely. And that's not something I want to do. And then I do, that was bad. So I would, to protect myself from that happening, be smarter with my money. The money I made, save, have a backup plan. Whether it's skills, whether it's saving, that's a problem. I'm a scalper. All I know how to do is, basic game. So I don't have any skills. I don't even know how to, make a spreadsheet. So either have some skills, have some savings. Don't be stubborn. That's the thing. A lot of times I was like, I want to do it my way. When, my brother or some other guys handed me golden strategies with edge, tons of edge, I was like, I'm gonna do it my way. No. I've never got listen, there's no shame in stealing or borrowing someone else's strategy.
Swallow the ego.
Dude, yeah, no, this is not a pride thing. There's no prizes for originality or I did it my way. No, the traders are judged on P&L. I've seen, and that's the sad thing. I'm 23 years in the game and I bust my ass, and yeah, I consider myself a good trader, but there's guys who are awful traders who made more than me in, a couple of days because they weren't stubborn, because they just took this, they were handed a strategy, they executed it,
and it worked,
and they banked. And some of them walked away. A lot of them gave it back, of course, but that's the way trading is. So yeah, don't be stubborn. You need a strategy with edge, but you don't necessarily have to come up with it. Find it on YouTube like I did, or they're out there. So yeah, don't be stubborn. Have a backup plan.
I love it. All right, David, I appreciate you, bro. It's been great. I really enjoyed the conversation. I think we're going to need to do another one at the turn of the year, maybe something like as we get into the new 2024 stuff, see how the book is doing. So for everybody who's listening, we appreciate you staying all the way through. Go to the description on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're at. There's a link for David's book. There's a link to his Twitter. Follow him. We need to blow up David's Twitter a little bit. We're very like-minded, David. I think a lot of our listeners are very much in the same boat as you. So I hope that everybody really enjoyed the conversation. I think they will, but I also think that they're going to follow you and look for some more insights from you as time goes on. So it's been great, man. I hope that your travels are safe. I hope everything goes well in Poland. And I just appreciate your time very much. And I think for now, we'll pin it. So for everybody listening, comments, hit us below, subscribe so you don't miss the future episodes. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, David.
Great. Thanks, Austin.